Well, good morning. We're back in Middle Earth, and last time Miss Fastola pretty much concluded her festival activities by helping Bingo solve the mystery of Eerie Acres. So today we are back with Miss Medriel, and she is going to be continuing, well, a mystery or two of her own out here at the Haunted Inn. Okay, let's go out the door. Okay, we have some lag going on here. Alright, so we need to search the town for records and for evidence. And I think that's, yep, about all we have right now. Alright. Do we have anything important here? Fall Festival's here. Yes, we know the Fall Festival is here. So let's go down here. Now we're looking for a couple different things. See if I can't remember where these things are. Excuse me, can you direct me to signs of violence? No? Okay. I was kind of hoping you would be a little more helpful than that. Oh, I was like, why can't I target him? But he's kind of one of those that just sits there and talks about how wonderful progress is. Okay. So I could have looked this all up online before I started, but one, I didn't think of actually looking it up, and two, well, it's kind of nice to challenge yourself to find things you haven't done in a while, like here's signs of violence. You have found some very old bloodstains. Surely a gruesome scene took place here. There's a spider in here. Not sure why there's a spider in there. Uncovered a battered book with several leaves missing, buried in the foundation of an old building. So I guess that is our records that we were looking for. We need to look for weapons. Weapons and signs of the necromancer. You have found a pile of weapons discarded out of sight. At least I finally remembered where that was. And I do know where the last bit is. We just have to go up and around a little for it. Oh, well, actually, there's 2 ways to get to it, but... You have found a shrine of tribute to the necromancer. Okay, so we have discovered everything we need to discover here. Okay, lag, lag, lag. Alright. I love how the other ghost just, I mean, he's so lost in his thoughts of the past that he doesn't even notice when you attack the ghost right next to him. Amazing. Alright, let's go talk to Prestadir and Idranfair. What is our... 36? It's not that bad. Okay, that's not normal. I think Prestadir needs to be moved up in his seat again. He's kind of in the wrong place. Just saying.
What can I do for you?
Oh, this is just what I was hoping for. I'm not surprised that someone took the time to bury it. Many pages are missing, as you can see, as is the case with many aged books, but these were deliberately ripped out. Is it not a fine coincidence that the pages that were removed are from TA 2461 in the same week that marks the accidental deaths of many folks who rest in the graveyard yonder? I would dearly like to find those missing pages, or at least hear the account that is missing from this book.
What can I do for you?
Ah, I think I see. How sad. But I suspected it would be something of this nature. There was murder in this town, of that you have seen strong evidence. Here is what I think the condemned shade meant when he said that many of his folk were set in their ways, and that change was coming. The change was the Dark Lord, and some men resist it. I believe the shades trapped here have done their best to pretend the evil events never happened, though it means their redemption will never be achieved. Even the gravestones lie. These shades believe that all is as it was just before the necromancer corrupted them. The murders are buried, collectively hidden, all were guilty, and all are determined to deny the truth.
Could I speak with you a moment?
So it appears that someone kept a faithful record, but this record was not to the liking of those who carried out the murders. If you're still invested in the story of this town, you should look into finding the missing pages. Perhaps they have been destroyed and perhaps not. But where to start? In the case of hidden relics, sometimes it's best to start where you began. That blank gravestone was the first thing to rouse my interest in this mystery, and perhaps it can tell us more now. Alright. Once again, Prestadir, could you, please, it really is kind of weird seeing you sitting halfway through the chair. A little disconcerting. Alright, let's go find the graveyard again. Although, I don't know how a blank gravestone is going to help us. I mean, you know, blank, nothing written on it, unless we're going to do a little grave digging. That's kind of, I don't know, Tomb Raider-y. Oh, hello, doggy. Really? And you seriously didn't want to do that? Okay. Examine, okay, yeah, so we examined it and a ghost showed up. How convenient. Record keeper of the Audaghaim. I should have stood with the four who resisted, but I did not. I watched it all happen. Only when they had perished did I feel the effects of the true evil that was at work in Audaghaim. Too late did I record the truth. When they found what I had written, they came after me as well. I anticipated them. Here is a copy of the truth that was destroyed. Let this be my last effort on behalf of the true heroes of Audaghaim, who resisted the evil corruptions of the necromancer. Our blindness was our undoing. Yes, the necromancer came and promised much, and we saw the opportunity for progress and prosperity. The four that stood against him attacked the altar, and we cut them down in the name of Dol Guldur. They cursed us as they fell. Ah, my oath is fulfilled, my redemption nigh. It was all too late, too late. Okay, so I think we have freed one spirit from his eternal torment. We shall head back to the inn with the final piece of the puzzle that Prestadir wanted. And perhaps Prestadir will be properly in his seat this time. And you know, now I'll have to check my past videos to see if he was messed up before or if this is like a brand new thing. Okay, even weirder, he is now back where he belongs. You know, if I didn't have that video bit to show him sitting halfway through the chair, I would have thought I imagined it. Okay.
What do you need?
Ah, you have found the lost pages. I am astounded. May I take a look? At last, the truth. And so it all comes together. Some of the townsmen resisted, and they were executed by their own folk. That settles the mystery. The guilty shade you spoke to before was the only one who led the movement to accept the necromancer's advances here. He was also the one who led in the murderers. Everything is documented in this account until the record keeper writes of his own guilt for not standing up for his fallen town folk. Here he writes that he knows his enemy will destroy the truth and execute him as well. This is the last entry by his hand.
Could I speak with you a moment?
We have the truth now, but it should not stop here. The murderers should not be allowed to dwell under their curse in this way, their guilt smothered and pacified by denial and lies. You must confront the shade again, but armed with the truth this time. I wish to see if he will admit his wrongdoing, like an honorable man, but somehow I doubt he will. The mystery is solved, but what good is it if the murderers are allowed to endure? You will do much for the memory of those worthy men who perished in this horrible time for Audaghaim. All right. So, we now know the whole story of the town. The necromancer arrived, promising many things. And, well, that is Sauron's way. He is also known as Anatoly, Lord of Gifts. And he had a way of being able to sweet talk people into his side. But yes, he came bringing, of course, many promises. And, well, some of the townspeople were more than happy to take him up on those promises, but a few, let's just say, they saw through Sauron's lies. And for that, they were murdered by their own kin. And now these spirits wander around because, well, they're kind of living in a comfortable bubble of their own lives. They've convinced themselves they are absolutely right. That things were great and wonderful and all that happy stuff. And this would be the man that led all of this. No, it is impossible. That story is no longer true. We destroyed that past and moved on with our lives. Why do you disturb our long peace with evils better left buried? That tale cannot be allowed to endure. You shall pay dearly for your meddling, outsider. Alright. Well, so he was definitely not willing to hear about the truth. Oh, he knew the truth well enough. He was certainly quick enough to admit to it all. But he certainly didn't want anyone else to know the truth. And was willing to kill again to cover it up. Well, an oath breaker to the very end. Alright, Prestadare. The tale is done.
Greetings.
Welcome back, Medriel. You have done a very, very good deed in the name of those who fell while resisting the Dark Lord's evil influences. It is a tragic tale, but it is for the best that you did not allow its denial to be endured. You should be proud of what you accomplished today, even if it is too late to benefit the poor woodsmen who fell so many years ago. Their story should not be buried under the corruptions of Mirkwood, for they were heroes, and the truth deserves to be woven into song, not forgotten as the murderers would wish. Guilt and denial are the cruelest of enemies, my friend. You did well to fight them with such vigilance. Okay, so that story chain is done. Well, it took us a little bit longer than I expected. We only have a little bit of time left, so we will pick up the quest for that other area that we have been, avoiding this whole time. So,
mind my words, traveler.
Hail, Runekeeper. Welcome to our meager establishment. It is not much, but it is safer than the wild woods beyond that door. I hope you will be careful when you venture out again. A small party of our own went out to explore, and they have not returned. I will not deny that I am very worried for them. They espied the elf ruins to the north of here, which, if memory serves, was once the fair elven realm of Dananglor. They left some days ago, and I fear the worst. Will you search for them and scout the ruins so that we know what we are up against? Be very careful. I do not wish you to meet the same fate they met. And, of course, she also has quests for there.
Mind my words, traveler.
I am glad that you have come to our aid, my good high elf. As our path leads us through Mirkwood, we see many evil things which we wish to make right. Alas, that we have not the resources for such a great undertaking. Even the smallest good deed must often go undone, for our eyes are fixed upon one target only. Dananglor was once an elven home, and is overrun now by shrieking beasts of all kinds. The Marvel and Merville are violations of nature, and even the bats of this forest are unwholesome and evil. If you wish to make Mirkwood a little better on behalf of the Galadrim, who must pass through it, you should cleanse those ruins of the vile swarms of bats that give strength to the presence of the Marvel. Will you do this for us? Dananglor will never be fair again, but you can perhaps begin to cast the evil from within its walls. Alright, so, now we have filth and riches.
Mind my words, traveler.
May Golvanen, elf friend, and welcome to our meager refuge. You may tarry here if you wish, but I think you may be of some use to me ere we depart this place. Have you ventured north and beheld the ruined walls of the elves who lived here long ago? We ourselves have only espied them from a safe distance, but some of our scouts did go that way and have not yet returned. There are Marvel who live there now. All the signs are there. The filth, the intense evil in the very air. I suspect that there are great hordes of elves beyond these sinister walls. The filth of the Marvel dulls all things fair, but they care for treasures with a fierce jealousy. I believe there will be memories of the elves among the foul refuse. Will you search the ruins for treasures of worth? These relics belong in the possession of the elves, where they can be properly attended. Alright, so there's one more here.
Might you spare a moment of your time?
How have you found Mirkwood thus far, Rundeer? It is not to my liking at all. Several of our number have gone missing on a mission to Dananglor. We know now that the place is rife with Marvel. If you find yourself there, you should defeat many of the Marvel slaves and see if you can learn of this Marvel nest. Any interesting relics you come across while in Dananglor would be of use to me in discerning the nature of these beasts. Just be cautious when you go, Mudriel. It bodes ill that our scouts are still missing. I worry very much that this particular mission will be perilous for you. And indeed, well, I mean, it could have changed since the last time I was there, and that was on a captain. Not necessarily the safest place in the game. However, well, it's fun. I won't lie. But yeah. Let's come over here. See if we can get up here. Thought for sure we could. Guess not. At least not that way. Well, hello, random person. I hope you're having fun. We'll come up here. I think we can see... Oh, we see a lot of... Oh, it's too foggy and too crowded to see. But over there, along there is our destination. See if we can go out a little further to see where we're headed. Oh, we can see the very, very tippy tops of it. Okay, there. A little better. Now, that over there is where we're headed. And it used to be, it looks like it was quite the elven, I'd almost say it was a city. Although I think it was more like a fortress. Who knows? But you can tell it was once quite the grand affair. Now, not so much. And speaking of grand affairs, Beyond the Shadow, or Before the Shadow, Beyond the Shadow, Before the Shadow does come out soon, and I'm still debating on whether I want to attempt to scrape up the $20 to buy the base edition. If I do, I will, we'll create a new character whose whole goal will be to go through the new intro experience, since I've created plenty of characters that have been through all the other intros before. The man intro, the hobbit intro, the dwarven intro, the elf intro, and the stout axe intro, and the high elf intro. So I've done all of that before. It should be interesting to see what the 1 to 35 experience would be for another character. Haven't decided what type of character yet. I'm sure I have my choice. Maybe I should pick something I'm horrible at, huh? No, let's not do that. But seriously. Yeah. And of course, this is not going to be like a permanent type character. It's going to be a character specifically for trying out the new stuff. Miss Madriel will always be our #1 character, and of course Miss Fistula seems to be happiest doing stuff around the Shire, Yonder Shire festival stuff. And we might be seeing Mr. Thormern in the future to do a little bit more LP stuff. You know, who knows? But with all that being said, next time we will head up to Dananglore and see about clearing it of a few Morval. But until then, bye for now.